Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I have to start with this from Liquidity crisis loading from Japan to the world before we discuss XRP. XRP as a remedy. The Yang carry trade is on the verge of going down. Prepare yourself. We're really close. Right now, I see a lot of people discussing this. They claim that the liquidity crisis is unavoidably coming and that it begins in the east before spreading to the west. We discussed the long-looming liquidity issue, and it appears like this is going to occur very soon. That is something we also need to monitor. Oasis Pro is purchased by Ondo. By purchasing Oasis Pro, Ondo Finance obtains a number of SEC and FINRA licenses. Through the agreement, Ondo will have access to US regulatory infrastructure for tokenized securities. By 2033, the market for tokenized assets is expected to grow to a value of over $18 trillion. The regulatory background of Oasis Pro offers a vital link. Ondo currently has a unique presence in one of the most strictly regulated financial sectors, whilst many rivals either manage uncertainty or look for offshore tactics. Additionally, we already know that Ondo uses the XRP ledger and collaborates with Ripple. If you see Ripple spreading out from the XRP ledger as I watch it grow, it indicates that I am invested in XRP. The future of Morgan Stanley. Crypto is not being ignored by their most recent rep institutions. They're getting into position early. Which cryptocurrency will they purchase? As of right now, we have no idea what cryptocurrency they are purchasing. People are free to speculate on that. However, the fact that Morgan Stanley is now entering the cryptocurrency space, along with Goldman Sachs, Bank of America and others, means that they are now positioning themselves for the future. Their goal is to maintain a competitive advantage. And as we move forward, we won't notice any indications that this is slowing down because smaller banks will begin to enter this market as well. Behind the scenes, I believe a few smaller institutions are already collaborating with Ripple, perhaps under an NDA. David Solomon, the CEO of Goldman, also predicts a reversal. Listen to it. Although markets move in cycles, I don't spend every night worrying about what might happen next. The market usually runs ahead of potential because there will be winners and losers whenever there is a notable acceleration in a new technology that generates a lot of capital creation and consequently a lot of attractive new enterprises around it. There will be winners and losers among them. Well, pick on Amazon if you return and consider the internet. As you are aware, Amazon was one of several businesses that were pursuing that kind of possibility. Many of the businesses disappeared. Amazon grew, become a fantastic business. This is a similar occurrence that you will witness. I wouldn't be shocked if the equities market saw a decline over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. But considering the run we've had, that shouldn't come as a surprise. Are you implying that there will be a pullback? However, note that we stated that Amazon survived. Believe that the same thing will occur in the cryptocurrency space. Many cryptocurrency will vanish due to laws, and only a small number will emerge as winners. Naturally, nevertheless, a decline is imminent within the next 12 to 18 months. However, what impact will it have on utility-driven cryptocurrencies? By then, utility will probably be driving the price of many of these cryptocurrencies, such as XRP, XLM, XDC, and so on, since they will be used daily for their true use case. Therefore, no one really knows. Therefore, I believe there will be a lot less downturn. To put it another way, we won't witness 80–90% declines in these utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Can banks decide to switch from Swift to Ripple? Of course. You see, Swift and Ripple don't need to work together. Banks are not need to use Swift in order to use Ripple. And people are unaware of that. You know, it is merely a substitute for Swift. And what's happening at the moment? Everyone is dissatisfied with Swift. The fees irritate them. The wait bothers them. And they desire payments in real time. Ripple will eventually replace Swift in this way. Additionally, the use of XRP in ISO communications will be very significant. We're getting really close now, so I usually try to mention ISO in at least one video I make each day. The big month is next month. Thus, this November is the Fed's ISO 222 deadline. Crypto projects like XRP, XLM, XDC, ALGO, IoT, HBR, QNT, and ADR are not sitting around, and banks are required to comply. This is the silent, structural, and long-term replacement of traditional finance. If you want to diversify your investments away from XRP, I would absolutely invest in these ISO cryptocurrencies. When XRP runs, it takes XLM with it. Therefore, I would absolutely hang on to XLM. Without a doubt, I would also be clutching the H-bar. That's going to be huge in my opinion, just like XDC. IOTA, as the Internet of Things develops and expands, I believe we will spend a little more time with IOTA. However, consider the emergence of AI, smart cities, and machines that pay other machines. All of that will be dominated by IOTA. This entire system will be held together by Q&T. I always advise individuals to get at least 1 to 10 Q&T. After looking at it, everyone says, well, it's sitting around $100. Maybe it's overpriced. You know, in actuality, it is incredibly undervalued. It is going to be surprising when Q&T actually starts to take off. There will be a lot of FOMO in Q&T. Keep in mind that there is a lot less Q&T than there is Bitcoin, and Q&T is useful. Lisa Rossi, global head of liquidity at State Street, discusses how the financial system will be altered by atomic settlement from DLTs once end-to-end processing, transparency, and distributed ledger technology are available. However, I also want you to listen to her remarks regarding a parallel rail at the very end of this video. Will traditional fiat be replaced in the financial markets by stablecoins, tokenized deposits, and wholesale central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs? What are your thoughts? I don't believe. It will likely be side by side, in my opinion. The rails and how we connect them will be crucial, and interoperability is crucial in this sector. We've been known to exhibit fragmentation, and we are not helped by fragmentation. 3 distinct rails are what I believe we will have. The cash rails will remain available to you. For a while, I believe the existing financial system will remain in place. Next, we'll have the digital currency rails of the central bank, followed by the crypto rails, and money will eventually run out. We're already headed in that direction. People are using cash less and less these days. Cash is completely non-existent among the younger generation. They use their phone for everything. Additionally, the majority of those who were in the middle group, possibly Gen X, are also making the transition to the digital age. You are therefore dealing with younger generations as individuals are growing younger and younger, and as generations are vanishing. Over time, you'll notice that cash is going to evaporate more and more. After that, you will have a digital currency rail from the central bank and a universal basic income rail. UBI would only be linked to digital currency issued by the central bank. After that, there will be the crypto rails. Cryptocurrency investors that prefer not to deal in digital money issued by central banks. You'll succeed in doing it, because artificial intelligence will be at the core of the future financial system after all. By then, everything will be completely automated. Micropayments will be used for everything. The costs will be covered by themselves. When you switch on the air conditioner, it instantly pays for the electricity it uses. Furthermore, if you own cryptocurrency, it's likely to be extremely valuable. I'm referring to outrageous costs. When that occurs, the robots will probably also accept digital currency from the central bank, as the central banks will also be connected to the same financial system, and cryptocurrency is the robot money. It's crucial to continue investing in cryptocurrency because, in my opinion, it's your only chance to decouple from the central bank and ensure that transactions aren't traced. This has been an excellent post for a long time. As a result, Antony's central banks and institutions raised the dollar by almost 50%. What do sound money principles apply to a $2.5 trillion asset? In fact, he believes that central banks will purchase Bitcoin. Not only are central banks purchasing gold, but they will continue to do so. They aren't screaming into Dutch tulip bulbs any more than they are into Bitcoin NSA tokens. Indeed, Francis, Black Swan Capitalist, states that they have been net purchasers of gold since 2009. Bitcoin is not being purchased by them. People should pay more attention to their actions than their words. Bitcoin is not being purchased by central banks. That's what I am telling you now. They intend to back currencies with gold, which is why they are purchasing gold. We are returning to the gold-backed system. To shift that gold-backed currencies, you will still want a bridging asset. An XRP would be useful in such situation. Since XLM has always been seen as the people's money, you might say the same thing about it. Therefore, XRP will still be required as a trust layer when someone